The humid Malaysian night was thick with the scent of frangipani and the distant hum of cicadas. Aisha hurried along the narrow jungle path, her flashlight cutting through the inky darkness. She had ventured out to gather medicinal herbs for her grandmother, a respected village healer, but she knew she had lingered too long. Now the oppressive silence of the jungle pressed in on her, heightening her senses. The leaves rustled ominously overhead, and a sudden chill prickled Aisha's skin. She quickened her pace, her sandals slapping against the dirt. The villagers' warnings echoed in her mind. Tales of the Langsuir, a vengeful spirit that haunted the night, preying on those who dared to roam after dusk. Aisha had always dismissed these stories as mere superstition, but tonight, under the suffocating canopy, she wasn't so sure. A soft, eerie whisper floated through the trees. Aisha froze, her heart pounding in her chest. She swept her flashlight in a wide arc, but the beam revealed nothing but twisted roots and dense underbrush. The whisper came again, closer this time, sending a shiver down her spine. She started to run, her breath coming in short, panicked gasps. Suddenly, she tripped and fell, her flashlight skittering away. The beam wavered and died, plunging her into darkness. Aisha scrambled to her feet, her hands groping blindly for the flashlight. The whispering grew louder, more insistent, wrapping around her like a suffocating shroud. A soft glow appeared ahead, illuminating a figure in a flowing white dress. The woman's long black hair cascaded over her face, obscuring her features. Aisha's blood ran cold as she realized she was staring at the Langsuir. The spirit's head tilted, and she let out a low, mournful wail that pierced the night. Aisha backed away, her hands trembling. The Langsuir glided forward, her movements eerily fluid. Desperate, Aisha turned to run, but the spirit was upon her in an instant, her icy fingers wrapping around Aisha's wrist. The touch was cold, draining the warmth from Aisha's body. She tried to scream, but no sound emerged. The Langsuir's face was inches from hers now, and Aisha could see the hollow pits where eyes should have been. The bloodless lips pulled back in a grotesque smile. The spirit's breath was like a winter wind, freezing and unnatural. Aisha felt her strength ebbing away, her vision darkening. In a final act of defiance, she reached into her pocket and pulled out a small pouch of salt, an old charm her grandmother had insisted she carry. With her last ounce of strength, she flung the salt at the Langsuir's face. The spirit shrieked, recoiling as the salt sizzled against her skin like acid. Aisha seized the opportunity and ran, her legs heavy and unsteady. She burst out of the jungle and into the clearing, collapsing on the steps of her grandmother's house. The old woman rushed out, her eyes wide with fear. "Aisha, what happened?" she demanded, helping her granddaughter inside. "The Langsuir, she's real," Aisha gasped, her body shaking. Her grandmother nodded gravely. "You're lucky to be alive. The salt saved you, but it won't keep her at bay for long." That night, as Aisha lay in bed, she felt a lingering dread. The villagers performed protective rituals, but she knew the Langsuir was still out there, waiting. Sleep came fitfully, filled with nightmares of hollow eyes and chilling whispers. In the early hours of the morning, a sudden realization struck Aisha. She reached for the pouch of salt on her nightstand, but it was empty. Panic surged through her as she heard the soft rustling of leaves outside her window. The whispers began anew, this time inside her mind. promising that the Langsuir had found her once more. Aisha's eyes widened as she turned to her grandmother, standing in the doorway. The old woman's eyes glowed a sickly green, her face twisted into that same grotesque smile. "Did you really think you could escape me?"